This is my app review for the new Magic Bullet Lux for iPhone. I think this is a universal app, so it will work on iPod Touches, iPads, iPhone 4 and above. When they release a new one, I hope it'll work on that one too. Let's have a look at the app then. Anyone who's familiar with video editing in Final Cut and Adobe Premiere and a host of other video editing softwares will be familiar with the company Red Giant, I'm sure. They make a piece of color correction software, grading software called Magic Bullet Lux, and if you're familiar with that, then a lot of things that are in this app will be very similar. So first of all, we select a piece of footage that we want to add some kind of look to, and we're going to select, where are we? This one down here, played with earlier. And once you've got your piece of footage selected, you have the option to trim it, and that's just a case of going on to the timeline at the top, dragging along to bits you want to trim, and then selecting to trim the video. We're going to trim that right down so it doesn't take an age to do, like so. And then this is all done with still frames. It's not going to process as you do it, so you can't view what the final product's actually going to be until you get through to the rendering stage and have the video actually fully rendered out. So in this section we have the option of various different looks. There are quick looks which will render out a little bit faster. Some of the more complicated looks will take longer to do, and we'll come to that in a second. So first quick look is a black and white look, and then one called Cold Day, and that one's Face Light, Mojito, Pop, Soft Faded, Sunset, Vintage Colour, and then we move on to the essentials. We've got Bleach Bypass, Bronze, Cinematic, and you can see on this one it's actually added a crop to it as well, so you get a different aspect ratio with that one. It literally does just crop the top and the bottom of the video off, so if you were going to shoot with this this type of crop in mind, you'd probably want to frame your shots accordingly, otherwise you'll lose a bit of what you're shooting. Cold Beauty, Cross Process, and you can see it's not going to give you a completely accurate view coming through the camera just here what these actually look like, but you can see there are a load of different looks that you can apply, a whole section of black and white ones, and I think that they might actually be bringing out other looks packs that you can buy, a little bit like with Hipstamatic. You can buy other films, so you might be able to get other looks with that as well. So this is the blockbuster section, and this is all based around films. You've got Optimus there, no prize for guessing what that's from, Resident, War. So it's got a whole host of different looks that you can actually apply. We're going to go with, let's see, saw a good one a minute ago. Go with Cinematic. Now once you get to the stage where you've selected your look, you have the option to change it a bit, so you can bring the strength down, and that will take it back to what the original footage was like, bring the strength up, and it gradually brings the look in. So you can tone it down a bit if you think it's a little bit too much. Leave it about there, I reckon. And then you can compensate the brightness by bringing it down or up. Some of the looks will naturally make things look a bit darker, a little bit grungier. Some of them will make it a little bit lighter. If they've got a look that's to make it too light, you can bring it down. I think we're going to go for about there. You have the option to send this out at full resolution or half resolution. Obviously full resolution is going to take a little bit longer, so if I select full resolution and click develop, it will tell me that it's going to take 2 minutes 48 seconds. It's nice that it gives you an estimate. If I select half resolution, it's going to take 50 seconds. So we'll do that. Now while it's rendering out, you get a lot of information about the piece of software itself and how you can better use it. One of the great things about this is that you're going to be able to shoot now in phone, and then you can apply this look to whatever footage you shoot, and then you can import it from your camera roll. This exports to camera roll. You can import it into iMovie on the phone and cut it on the phone with lots of other scenes, so it actually makes the phone an even more complete workflow. Also, if you're shooting with something like Filmic Pro, which I did a review of before, you can set the exposure, you can set the white balance, you can set the focus, so it's not going to be jumping around, which will make it much better when you're using a piece of software like this. If you use the inbuilt camera, then you'll get color shifts if the light changes, or if you turn around and there's a window there, it will try and balance with the daylight. And doing all of that, the look's just going to kick all over the place. So it's probably better to shoot with something like Filmic Pro and then import into this and then export out to iMovie. Okay, and then we can view the movie, see how it's done. I'll probably cut footage of this directly in here so you can get an idea of what the footage looks like. And then it just loops around so you can make a judgment of whether you like it or not. If you do, you click done, and then you can select another look to try, or you can select another movie and take you back to the beginning to your camera roll and you can have a look through there. It's a neat piece of software, and I use Magic Bullet looks in Final Cut, so I'm quite pleased to see they moved into this area. A lot of the looks are lifted directly from Magic Bullet looks, so you're going to recognise a lot of them if you use that editing suite already. I would definitely recommend it. I think for Americans this is a couple of dollars, and in the UK I think it was £1.79. Probably worth it if you're going to be editing movies in phone, if you don't want to be exporting out to your Mac and then importing into iMovie or Final Cut. It makes it a little bit nicer and gives you a lot more options on the go. So that's Magic Bullet Looks HD, and it's a universal app, which is nice. You don't have to buy it if you've got an iPad 2 for that. You can just use the same purchase to get it for iPhone, iPad 2 and any other iOS devices that you're using that are compatible.